Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Mistakes Were Made But Not By Me, Why We Justify Foolish Beliefs, Bad Decisions and Hurtful Acts. On March 20, 2003, the United States launched a military strike against Iraq without the approval of the United Nations Security Council, on the grounds that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction and was supporting terrorists. However, the United States did not find any so-called weapons of mass destruction during the 7-year period, from the beginning of the invasion in 2003 to August 2010 when American combat forces withdrew from Iraq. Faced with evidence of his mistakes, George W. Bush still sought new reasons to justify himself instead of changing his view. It is common for politicians like Bush to refuse to admit their mistakes and look for reasons to defend themselves. In our daily life, most people also seek reasons to prove we are right after making mistakes. For example, when we are not promoted due to poor performance, we tend to think that the leader is against us instead of figuring out how to improve our skills. Parents often blame their children for being too weak rather than reviewing whether their requirements are too demanding. We might know our partner is not worth spending our lives with, but we still refuse to admit that our choice was wrong when others question our relationship. Why do people justify their harmful, immoral, and foolish behaviors? This insightful and appealing social psychologist's work Mistakes Were Made But Not By Me uses interesting examples to reveal how people defend themselves in politics, law, medicine, family, love, interpersonal relationships, and other areas of life. It also answers other questions like what kind of hurt self-justification brings, and how we can avoid falling into the trap of self-justification. This book is like a mirror, it can help us see others as well as ourselves. The book has two authors. Carol Tavris is a social psychologist, speaker, and author of Anger: The Misunderstood Emotion, and Mismeasure of Women, Why Women Are Not the Better Sex, the Inferior Sex, or the Opposite Sex. Elliot Aronson is one of the world's most prominent social psychologists. He is also the only psychologist awarded for his writing, teaching, and research by the American Psychological Association. He is the author of The Social Animal and The Jigsaw Classroom, Building Cooperation in the Classroom. We have the bookies of The Social Animal and Elliot Aronson's biography Not by Chance Alone: My Life as a Social Psychologist. If you are interested in his experience and research, you are welcome to listen to these bookies later. Next, we will introduce this book in 3 parts. Part 1, The Mechanism of Unconscious Self-Justification. Part 2, The Manifestations of Unconscious Self-Justification. Part 3, Letting Go and Owning Up. After his sex scandal was exposed, former U.S. President Bill Clinton firmly insisted when swearing an oath that there was no sexual relationship between him and Ms. Monica Lewinsky. He did not admit their sexual relationship until there was evidence that proved he lied. Why do so many of us seek all kinds of reasons to defend ourselves instead of admitting our mistakes or changing our ideas after making mistakes and facing the evidence of our mistakes? This is actually caused by cognitive dissonance. Cognition refers to people's understanding of the external world and ourselves, including ideas, attitudes, beliefs, opinions, among many other aspects. Cognitive dissonance is a state of tension that occurs whenever a person holds two beliefs that are psychologically inconsistent. For example, smokers all know that smoking is harmful to health, but they also have another cognition: I smoke 2 packs a day. The coexistence of two kinds of beliefs will lead to cognitive dissonance that makes smokers feel uncomfortable and even pained. To relieve the discomfort brought by this cognitive dissonance, they can choose either to quit smoking or change the cognition of smoking is harmful to health. Usually, it is more difficult to quit smoking, so people often unconsciously adjust their cognition of smoking is harmful to health to justify their behaviors and make the cognition acceptable again. This is the engine of self-justification. For smokers, after they fail to quit smoking, they often tell themselves, smoking makes me relaxed, smoking helps me lose weight, and smoking can relieve stress.